Hello and welcome to another episode of Dark Heresy and Imperial Guard Campaign. This is another deleted affair. Joining me tonight is... Points to the people, choose one. Soviet's joining us, and also we have Nick. Say hi, Nick.
Hello, everybody.
So we got Nick, Soviet, and myself, the GM, DK389. And we're going to have some fun, guys. So, last time on Dragon Ball Z. Go ahead.
One second.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z?
Soviet, you're supposed to be explaining this.
1 second.
Uh-oh. Do we have bad timing?
No, I accidentally, I went to go clear out the fact that we were live streaming because it showed up on my phone, and I clicked on the video, so I was hearing everything in, super duo. I was being part of the live stream and watching it at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So anyways, we are on Victor's and Tantus' home planet. Tantus is training his mind, and Soviet has been off training with his lightning.
I believe you were watching kind of a Yoda training going on?
Yeah, but then remember, I got up and left to go train my lightning, and then I was just coming back when we ended the episode. No,
as I recall, Tantus went to go get training, then you got drunk, then Raven fixed your drunkenness, right?
Tantus, yeah, we finished Tantus's training,
Again?
and no, so he's not gonna get drunk again. But we finished Tantus's training, and then went off onto something else because Tantus left. I went off training with lightning, came back when we left off. Me and Raven were sitting down reading my book.
And this time, the GM didn't forget that someone was dead, that he didn't know was dead.
Yes. Although, I thought Tantus told you.
He may have, it's quite possible. But I'm a bad GM and I forget things. That's why it's hilarious when y'all let me finish telling a tragic backstory till you tell me, the character I'm giving a backstory for is dead. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're at the gym. Or they're at an orphanage feeding, orphans. How? She's dead!
No, I said I thought she was dead.
Well, I guess those are some interesting new orphans we got there.
You know what? I could have really messed with y'all, and it could have been like someone posing as her, and everyone has a certain level of amnesia. I should have done that.
You should have.
Because the GM never makes mistakes, but I'm not that arrogant.
No, it would have been funny if that
So
person,
anyways.
I don't know who this was, but if that person, just their dead body was feeding the children there.
Now, Soviet is going back to the ship to get Nick and Rachel.
So, Nick, while the guards tried to stop you from leaving the ship and exploring the planet, Nick, you find yourself outside the ship.
I'm sorry, what?
You find yourself outside the ship and beyond the grasp of the guards.
Can I still see the ship and the guards?
Yes. And sitting next, sitting behind, kind of standing behind you, slightly crouched, is Mia. As she takes off, this, kind of stealth blanket that she had.
Okay.
You're not really sure what it was, but it looks like it was designed to hide y'all's appearance. And you hear Mia snuffing something like telling me I can't leave this ship.
I almost want to go back and talk floor.
You notice there is this man coming towards you. It is Soviet, wearing a slightly different blue hue armor. It looks like Tricky has been modifying his armor last time you've seen it. Or maybe you just weren't noticing it in the same way.
Doesn't really matter. It's not like I know why we're here anyway.
We're here because Soviet wanted it to be known that he was a sensei.
But yes, I know that out of character, but my character does not.
So
I know, that's what I'm about to tell you.
Oh, okay.
This
So-
is way too much stress for me to hold on my own shoulders, you know?
So, Victor, you see Nick and Mia outside the ship, and Mia's discarding some sort of blanket.
I'm gonna walk over and be like, were those guys giving you trouble?
I'm really debating holding up a certain finger to the other guards. But I won't.
No, it's okay, you can flip them off.
I really wanted to.
If they try to do anything, I will stop them. So anyways, I was serious.
I was gonna go
Were
if
those
they
guys
really
bugging
try
you?
to do anything, we can always just shoot them.
And all of a sudden, Nick, a little raven appears behind Victor, running towards you, going, "Nicky!"
Do the guards notice?
No. Y'all are far enough away that they can't actually hear Raven.
So anyways, I'm gonna be like, hey, wait here, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab something.
I want to yell at the guards. I just want to kind of yell, hi, and then just kind of wave at them.
Okay, you actually want to try to grab their attention? Okay. Now, normally on the deleted affair, we try to do as little dice rolling as possible. But for you, go ahead and roll me whatever is appropriate for grabbing someone's attention. Let's see. What might that be?
What do you think's appropriate for yelling really loudly?
Throw a rock.
And everyone's probably wondering why there's this giant, arrow scrolling across the screen. This is the character sheet y'all can't see.
Maybe I should use command because I have that special order of command. So that's my voice carry farther.
Guess that would work.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. But it should be a command... Yeah, the command fellowship's fine.
Okay, I pass.
All of a sudden, they turn and go, "What you doing over there?" And they come stomping across.
I'm gonna step in front of Nick and be like, what in the hell do you think you're doing?
Soviet.
And one of the guards, Soviet, picks you up and moves you behind him.
And I'm gonna step back around him and be like, this is my friend.
And what's the little one doing here, too? You weren't allowed to leave.
It's like, well, it's very simple, sir. Confining us does
I
not
have
work
come
very
to
well.
fetch them. If you have a problem, you can deal with me.
Besides,
And the
what do you
guard
expect me to
takes
do?
you, Soviet, and moves you again out of the way.
I'm gonna get on
What
my
do you
comm
expect
system
me
and be
to
like,
do?
hey, Adam,
Sit
I'm
on my
gonna
ship
need
and do nothing while my crewmates do whatever they're doing here.
All of a sudden, Tantus comes up, and he's switched armors. He's now wearing this kind of red and black silk armor with kind of a black and red silk cape. And he just walks up and clicks his fingers and says, "What is all this?" And the guards start to explain, and Tantus just shushes them with his hand, and he tells them that their services are no longer necessary in this area and to return to the barracks by the prince's orders. And they look like they're about to argue, and Tantus is just sitting there with a half-drawn power sword. Remember the punishment for failing to follow orders of the royal family. And they just kind of look away. They're just looking down going, "Yes, sir." And they walk off. And Tantus goes over to you, Soviet, and says, "Were they getting in your way, cuz?"
I wanted to hurt them.
Yes, but if we hurt everyone that got in their way, we wouldn't have any subjects, eh?
No, if we hurt everybody that got in our way, we'd only have loyal subjects. And I want to say that too. If we hurt everybody that got in our way, we would only have loyal subjects.
Yes, all 3 of them, right?
Yes.
Sadly, 3 subjects do not help retake a planet.
But friends do.
This is true.
Anyways, I'm gonna go fetch Rachel because we have not had her in a single episode for a long time.
Fair enough.
That's not true. We've had her in the episodes that me and Turkey did last Thursday and Friday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't live stream that. That was my fault. I need to start doing that. We were just so far behind starting that day that I didn't want to add the delay of starting up the stream.
But anyways, this is the first time she's on the deleted affair. And the deleted affair happened before that, so technically she still hasn't been on the show for quite a long time.
And Victor attempts to use time management against Nick. Fair enough.
And Nick just ignores him.
The integrity of the timeline.
But at the same time, it does actually work.
That's
So it actually uses
the GM offers no resistance. So you go to the ship and collect Rachel, who, when you come to her room, she has her helmet off, and she has a screwdriver and a wrench, and she's messing with something. It looks like it has a bunch of circuit boards, and she's soldering something.
I'm just gonna ask her, be like, "You want to get off the ship for a little bit?"
She jumps as if you because she was really concentrating on soldering.
I'm gonna say sorry.
And her soldering iron burns the circuit board.
Uh-oh.
And now the circuit board's on fire.
So it uses.
Good job.
And she turns
fire.
around and says, "Fire extinguisher! Fire extinguisher!"
I grab the fire extinguisher.
She then uses it on the circuit board. And she sets down the fire extinguisher and says, "Well, now I got nothing to do, so sure."
I'll be like, "I'm so sorry."
It's alright. I was just working on a knick-knack.
I'm gonna hold my hands out after you.
She grabs her helmet and she takes a moment to put herself back into getting her uniform all straightened up. You also took this moment to notice that she actually has long hair and she somehow buns it underneath her helmet.
Did you ever notice that I actually modified my character sheet to say that I had a mohawk?
Yeah, I saw that.
Which would I don't think I'd be wearing my helmet right now, so everybody would see my awesome mohawk.
Did you want to not wear your helmet?
Yes.
Okay.
Seeing how there's no battle scenes right now.
Your helmet is. Do you want that on your tactical vest hanging?
No, it's back in my room in the castle.
Oh, okay. I will take
Why
note
carry
of
the
this
extra
in
weight?
any time in which you might suffer concussion. Thank you for letting me know this.
You're welcome. I mean, we're going right back to the castle, so.
Yes, and in nowhere in which you will have to make any kind of acrobatics checks because of wet floors.
DK,
Yes.
do you remember my acrobatic skill?
Yeah? But what if the floors are really wet?
That's called the GM being unfair and unreasonable.
What if the floors are also soapy?
You know I'm not that unreasonable. I'm just messing with you. Alright, let's continue.
Wait, maybe the GM decides to nuke us.
No, that is
Oh.
specifically what EE did. I don't know if you know this
So-
one, Victor. It's there's another group that plays Dark Heresy, and the GM nuked his team.
Alright.
He just nuked all the players. He's like, it's like this was exciting, and he was so happy with himself. But the thing is, I would like to mention that group also was the one who got me interested in Dark Heresy. So thank you, the other group. Their GM was they called him EE, and I can't say his profile thing. It's Inter Asylum or something like that. Splattercat, Avok, yeah, Avok, and I can't remember the other guys.
So, something I've always wanted to do is go visit, like, haunted asylums and stuff.
Really?
Okay, well, we should continue with this deleted affair.
Yes. Let us continue on with this deleted affair.
Soviet wants to go find Raven and find her newest coloring book.
So the player, anyone who doesn't understand that reference, Victor walked up to Raven, the little Eldar girl, and she was drawing pictures of the future. And he asked to look at it, and he wanted to test if...
Wait. Soviet, that hasn't happened yet. Timeline.
Yeah, I'm just explaining the reference, though. You're right. That happened in the main series, which we haven't come up to yet. Okay, so the coloring book said, I believe Victor was trying to find out on how many pages I could randomly create in my head before I ran out of content.
And I was ready to test this theory to the max, but
Yes.
everybody kept yelling at me.
The GM did never break. The GM never broke.
Soviet.
The other team members who were part of the group, they broke. They threatened to hurt Victor. If he
Yeah, I was gonna get shot and chopped up.
Yeah.
You're lucky I was still on a quest to find space variants.
I know, I'm so happy about that, because that's actually something I used against him, too. I'm like, hey, Nick, you're not here right now.
But, like, Trick was like, I am.
Oh, that was Tantus.
Oh, Tantus? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't played with Tricky in a while.
Actually, like, Nick asked me to bring if I wanted Tricky here, and I try to keep these deleted fairs kind of intimate, not that kind of intimate. But if you ever do want Tricky here, just let me know and I'll invite him.
Hey, if Tantus ain't here, I'm more than happy to have as many people as possible.
To ask him if he wanted to play on Thursday. He thought when he read it the first time that I had said today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, once I figure out my schedule,
asking me about playing Dark Heresy, and I thought that was really funny.
Well, actually,
Oh, we should.
when you said you asked, you let's invite Tricky. He can hop in the middle of this.
Yeah, I find that Tricky isn't like he doesn't 100%. I don't know how much roleplay he can handle. I think he really likes the part where he starts killing things with his guns. So I try not
This is mainly
to.
roleplay.
I have no idea. I can't tell how much he enjoys that. So I just try to. I try to give people what they want.
Maybe sometime we can sit there and have like on a deleted affair a random little Necron invasion.
You want me to explain to you what happened in the last episode while you were gone?
Yeah, we actually had this set of episodes in which Tricky would just fire a crack grenade. We'd meet with someone, and I see Tricky rolling for a crack grenade. Hilarious. Like, I laugh. The other player's like, no!
So, Soviet, do you want to know what happened last episode?
I think DK filled me in
inform you already?
everything I was there for. I do not want to know anything that I was not there for. And
you were there 100% for everything that was there.
We brought your character with.
But
like, it was
I do know that you guys almost got sucked out the airlock.
So, essentially, Soviet.
I can't believe that they tied me to Tantus. I know what happened. You shot Raven. And ate her blood like cotton candy.
And then
we ended up in a facility where you thought you were going to get sucked out into space.
Soviet, eventually we were bored about being in prison. So we decided we were going to blow it up.
Yeah, that was my favorite part, where you all start blowing up the prison. Unfortunately, when I'm put in a position in which a character who should know how to do it is asked, I have to create a solution for it.
So, anyways, let's continue on with this story.
Yes, let us continue on.
So we're on our way back to the ship, or back from the ship. Soviets hanging, like, talking with Rachel.
Nick, what are you gonna do?
Well, I feel like I should just walk to the palace.
You want to walk around the place?
No, I feel like me and Candace should just go to, like, the palace or something.
Oh, okay. So Tantus is going to take you on a tour of the palace.
Okay, Soviet and Rachel are skipping out on the tour. Tantus's tours are boring.
You're going to go on a date?
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. No. Yes, maybe. I don't know.
Alright, so where are you taking Rachel?
Well, I mean, it would be an improvement from humping a door.
It would be. No, Soviet. No. Bad. No.
Sorry, I had to bring it up.
I'm gonna take her to one of those taverns that serves the beer that I can drink more than one of. Where it's not like I drink one and get so totally sloshed I can't walk.
So one of those bars that cuts all their beer with water.
Yes, pretty much. Because I went to a Space Marine bar last time, and Adam was carrying me around for a little bit.
Actually, no. What you should do is you should go to an elven bar. Because elven wine is essentially just grape juice.
Does our planet have elven bars?
No.
No,
He's messing. He's pulling fantasy stuff on you to mess with you.
Don't confuse Soviet.
But it's so much fun.
Alright, so yeah, Soviet's going to take Rachel to Well, not really a bar, like a place to eat.
Okay, you're
So
gonna.
you're gonna go on a date.
Okay, what kind of restaurant do you want to take her? Take to the slowly becoming suspicious Rachel.
Alright, so you're taking her on a date without asking her if she wants to go on a date first.
Nah. Wait, no.
What?
Stop confusing me!
It's okay. I mean, like technically, she's already agreed to come with you. This is your planet, so you could be just being a very hospital guest. A host.
Well,
Host.
keeping everybody else trapped on the ship.
Exactly. Well, technically, now everyone can leave the ship.
You wanna know what I'm gonna do?
Nick, Mia, and Raven
I'm gonna show
just
her the
walked
side of
off.
the planet that Tantus would never show anybody, but I would know because.
You would know the
I would
places
know
a
your
little bit
attitude.
like there are places that Tantus knows about, and then there are the places that you know about. Okay, question:
What we're saying is you.
do you want to take her somewhere sketchy or somewhere normal?
Normal.
I didn't hear you.
Normal.
Okay, I was hearing was like normal, please. Anyway, see, Tantus would probably take her somewhere more expensive and rich, but you've decided to go for normal, which is a
I'm really
place you
hoping
would
that
know
there are
more
people
about.
that are annoyed with me being at the palace.
So, you have a couple of choices here. Are you ready? You have this, uh, Imperial kitchen. Um, the Ram and the Lion, or the Wafer.
The Ram and the Lion.
Okay. You knew that the Ram and the Lion had the second best food that you knew of. And the Wafer always made you feel unsatisfied.
But I figured that I kind of want to take a step away from the Imperial Guard.
Oh no! It's not that kind of thing. It's a parody reference to Country Kitchen. I was actually thinking about making it Southern Imperial Kitchen.
I would have done that one then. It's just like I thought that it was like
Oh, you could change your mind. I mean, I did explain it a bit better.
Imperial Kitchen.
Okay, have you ever been to Country Kitchen?
No, but I've been to the old country buffet.
No.
Country Kitchen was my favorite restaurant as a child, just so you know. And then it was replaced with the Panera Bread. And now every time I go to Panera Bread, I think about Country Kitchen.
And it makes you cry,
Yeah,
don't it?
Panera's nice, but it's not that great.
Panera Bread's fine. It's just not a place that you go to get full. Unless you buy a loaf of bread to go with your whatever meal you buy.
I mean, I order massive amounts of mac and cheese because it's delicious.
Yeah, I found that it went better if I just ordered a loaf of bread with my meal. And then everything was fine.
That's true.
Because the loaf of bread will fill you up. I mean, their food is delicious, and it's unusually quiet there. Like, you can have a conversation and feel like you're not being interrupted. The problem is...
You could just take a book there.
Yeah, you could totally take a book there and not lose... The building was constructed in a way to not be loud, even if there's a billion people screaming at the top of their lungs. It's weird. It
So,
filters sound, and it's heresy. Anyway...
I just imagine, a nice winter morning, having a donut, some mac and cheese, and hot chocolate, putting a book and just sitting down.
So you head to Southern Imperial Kitchen. I love that. Okay, what do you decide to order?
Burger.
Okay, so the server first asks you what you want to drink.
they have.
Nuka-Cola.
Nuka-Cola, that's what I'm...
Is that what you want?
No. Alcoholic Nuka-Cola. Slightly. Wait.
Okay,
very,
so
very
here's your
light.
choices. You have the Imperial Cola, Diet Imperial Cola, the Royal Tea, and Recaf. And you can choose to
Recaf.
make any of these drinks alcoholic by making them wild.
Wild recaf.
Wild
No,
Recaf?
just recap.
Oh,
no,
you just
just
want regular Recaf? So I don't need to, like, have you roll a toughness check to see if you have a terrible drunken attack? No?
Nope.
Nope.
Just regular old recap.
Not taking any chances on this one, hey?
Nope.
Plus,
I
he's
know
on a
better.
date. He's got to look professional.
Well, not only that, last time I went on a date and got drunk the first time. Not appropriate for cameras or live streams, so I'll tell that one later.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest with you. Becoming drunk and on a date just doesn't sound like a good mix.
Pop goes the baby!
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's if you actually find your way into that position and not into the bathroom puking, I imagine. Moving forward.
That's why you never take your date to a bar.
So, Rachel orders, let's see, an Imperial Cola.
What does she order for food?
The waitress then leaves to go get your drinks, and give you time to look at the menu. What do you want? What do you want to look on the menu for? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
I want a double bacon cheeseburger.
Okay. So the waitress comes back with your recaf and Rachel's Imperial Cola. And
Chris
you...
randomly shows up and steals my recap and walks away.
No. No, Chris is in a coma. Oh, no, he's not in the coma yet. Nick hasn't blown him up yet. Almost forgot.
Chris is perfectly fine.
Yes, I think Chris is doing something else then. Probably standing on top of a roof trying to look cool.
My own personal goals for this episode are to infuriate someone by simply being at the palace.
Okay,
Probably gonna tick off Tantus pretty bad. Because it was his deal that everybody else stayed on the ship. He is the one that told us that everybody else stayed on the ship, and then I went and broke it.
Well, we're breaking the rule only because
Tantus ditched.
I have a rule. I'm going to tell everyone that we need at least 2 people here to do the role play. I try not to do individual things. I break that rule sometimes as well, but I'd rather have at least 2 people so it doesn't turn into me talking to myself too much.
Well, hey, wait. I'm good at playing role play too. So like whenever Tantus left and me and you continued the episode because he's like, it can't be over an hour long, and then we just continued after he left.
Yeah, he's like, I told you my phone was dying. I know, man. I'm sorry. But I try not to make hour-long episodes. It's just my rule. Moving forward. Oh, right. You ordered a double cheeseburger, right?
Bacon cheeseburger.
What now?
Double bacon cheeseburger.
Okay, double bacon. Do you want double the bacon?
Yes.
Okay, and the waitress mentions about it costing like 50 cents extra.
I just kind of chuckle.
Meh.
And then you see Rachel order. She says she wants the Imperial Country Fried Steak with eggs. And she was given a choice of pancakes, biscuits, or rolls. She picked pancakes.
So now we wait for the food, right?
Yes, you now may begin your idle conversations.
Hey, DK, who said nobody else was allowed off the ship?
Oh, that was Tentis things. He just wanted to make sure that we didn't get our story lost in a million voices.
Tantus or Tantus's father?
Oh, I'm
Tentis.
sorry. You're talking actual story reasons. No, so you know, I want this to be said. I was the one who made that decision in the beginning. That wasn't like actual Tantis making that decision. No, that was just him agreeing with my decision. Tantis's father had ordered no one else to leave the ship. But he may or may not have wanted that to be a permanent thing. That may have just been a temporary thing, because he wanted to talk to his son and... What are you to Tantus's father, Victor?
I'd be his nephew because he married my aunt.
So, yeah, he wanted private time with his son and nephew. And I think he wanted to take you on an adventure before he jumped into his giant safe of money. And
Started
the
swimming
adventure
in it.
would be called Imperial Tales. Woohoo!
Alright, so
Because Nick still hasn't probably watched DuckTales and should be deeply disturbed. That was a DuckTales reference, everyone. That
I did understand that one. I've watched DuckTales.
I made that a reference to Nick when I first met him, so you know, and he had no idea what I was talking about.
No, I don't.
Heresy.
See, like,
Funny.
whenever we'd say, you know, Nick McFoxtails, and then as soon as Tails was said, I'd go, woohoo! And I
I'm
was the only
impressed
one
with
there
that now.
laughing. Because Eric didn't know the
Because
reference.
it wasn't funny.
It was funny.
It really wasn't.
It was.
If you have ever
Most
seen
explicit
DuckTales, it's
time.
funny.
It was funny, Nick, but it's okay. It was
Sophie
funny
agrees
from
that
a
it was funny.
nostalgia perspective that you can't have. I'm sorry.
From now on, if you do the woohoo,
I mean,
I
I've
will
watched
laugh with you.
DuckTales, DK.
Huh? Oh.
From now on, if you do the woohoo, I will laugh with you.
Okay. But I
I
dropped
worry
that joke
about
because I kind of like felt that Nick didn't appreciate the joke. And so
No,
when
I've
I
never
detect that people don't
appreciated the joke.
like
It's just
appreciate a
not
joke, I drop it.
Woohoo.
Okay. All right. So what do you want to talk with Rachel about?
We're gonna start small talk, and you're gonna
Are you going
find
to
out what
propose
Nick
marriage?
is doing.
Oh, okay. So you want to avoid any conversation? Okay, let's move on to what Nick is doing. Nick,
I mean,
I
like,
need
we're
you
having
to roll me a
conversation,
toughness
but I don't-
check.
We're having
What?
conversation, but at the same time, like, I don't want to make Nick feel like he's entirely out of this
What did you
episode.
ask me to do, DK?
I need you to roll me a toughness check, -5.
Okay. You know that my toughness is already so low that I don't really need a negative modifier.
I know. That's why it's only a -5.
Anyways, while Nick is dying,
There you go. I crit failed.
Nick, roll me acrobatics.
Okay. I can do that.
Nick ran into a wet floor.
Okay. So Nick, Tantus is taking you on the museum trip. It feels like hours have passed, and now he's taking you through a museum, and like some of the stuff puzzles you why it's in a museum. There was the sock collection. And he kind of, I swear, you swear that he also took you through a lint museum, but you're not sure anymore. Everything's kind of blurring together, but he is taking you on probably one of the most...
Just a sock.
Yes.
One sock, or was it multiple socks?
Oh, it was multiple socks. But then it had the ultimate sock sitting on a chair.
Okay.
And it seemed to have some sort of significance to Tantus, but you don't get it. It means nothing to you. And he is in
Would it
none
meant
way...
something to
And
me?
he's just continuously talking and droning on. And you found yourself starting to fall asleep, and you did. And you felt yourself moving really, really fast, and you were able to perform an acrobatic roll. And Tantus turns around, looks at you, and you're kind of like, ta-da! While you're trying to get your bearings and figure out where you are.
Meh. So, how's it going, Tantus? Do you have any more very interesting museums to show me?
Ah, yes, I do. I have the Bright Light Museum.
Tantus, I have a question. Are you avoiding something?
No, not at all.
Okay, because these museums are really, really boring.
Okay, I promise the next one won't be. Though I'm saddened to hear that our culture doesn't have the same value to you.
No,
Next
it
thing
doesn't. I'm
Nick
sorry.
knows, he hears Soviet's voice in the back of his head saying,
Unfortunately, I'm just not
"Ask to
steeped
meet
in history enough
Tantus's
to,
father.
or truly
Ask
have the
to
same value of
meet
your culture.
Tantus's father."
I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry, Victor was talking over you.
Okay, no, I'm sorry, Tantus. I'm just not steeped enough in the history to truly appreciate the culture.
Okay, I understand. So I'll just take you to something that is just appealing to the senses, that will not require any talking. It's very visual. And he guides you, finally, to something that looks impressive. The first exhibit
Okay.
is like a recreation of the city, and it has apparently it's a little model of like the Hive City, and everything has been recreated into tiny details. And there's these little people, and there's all these working lights. Then you continue walking, and you find these beautiful moving lights. And they are truly breathtaking. They glow, and they move around, and one of those lights goes into your hand. And as you move your hand, the light moves with you.
Okay.
When your hand catches on fire.
No. As you move on, the lights disappear, and now there's a light in both of your hands, and some lights on your shoes, on your boots.
Okay.
And as you move, they make a swirl of lights and colors. And they almost shoot out like kind of a rainbow color when you move really quickly with them.
Run.
Do you want to try to perform an acrobatics move?
Sure.
Yes.
That's for you.
So as you perform the acrobatics move, you you manage to what did you do? A flip or a cartwheel?
I don't really care.
Pick something, Nick.
I'll just do a straight
He
flip.
did the meh.
That didn't me. Okay, so you did a flip. As you look behind you, a trail of lights perform the flip with you, and now you have a tail coming out of the lights that you have. And as you move, they leave a trail behind of colorful rainbow lights. It seems that they fade over time. The tails start to fade. So now what do you want to do?
Well, now, clearly the correct answer is that we should go find someone interesting to speak to.
So as you go to find someone interesting to talk to, Victor, um, so Rachel asks you a question about your thoughts on technology.
Meh. I'm joking. I, I, I've always wanted to dabble more into it, but I just don't really understand it.
She seems interested in your reply because it apparently you've discovered that she enjoys honesty and not pretend to enjoy honesty. She actually just appreciates honest answers.
And that actually is an honest answer, because as I said, like, I know how to install a CD drive into a desktop,
But no,
but I don't
your
know
character,
anything else.
not your real life person.
Well, I know how, my character would know how to install a CD drive. He knows basic knowledge. He wouldn't know how to put the computer
You're right.
together.
You do
But he
know
knows
a
how to
little bit about everything. You're right. As we go on back to Nick, little Raven is now playing in the rainbow lights.
Okay.
And then she discovers something. It's an ice rink.
Okay.
And she says, Nikki, ice rink.
I can see it.
Let's go. So Raven is now attempting to find ice skates that fit her.
Okay.
Are you going to find ice skates?
No.
No? You don't want to go ice skating?
No.
Nick is avoiding the role play.
Yeah, I know. It's like, no, I'm not going to involve myself in this. GM, write me out.
Nick uses evasion.
This just sounds so stupid.
And then Raven now is wearing ice skates, and she makes her way across the ice with the rainbow lights following her.
Oh, come on, skate with her, man. I just want this to be known. Soviet refuses to continue the RP until Nick skates with Raven.
And you're going to be waiting a very long time.
Oh gosh. Okay. So Tantus now is putting on his red ice skates.
Hey, maybe we could talk Tantus into playing hockey.
No.
That means that you gotta beat the crap out of him.
No. I won't.
It tells me Nick don't like ice.
Apparently during the 1911 ice storm, Nick lost 7 people to a terrible ice storm, and now he will no longer go on the ice.
All because he accidentally blew up his own ship and then there was an ice storm.
No. That's terrible. No, we're joking, guys. We're joking, guys. That totally didn't happen.
Yes. Well, I mean, he did blow up his own ship.
I built my ship.
Not
That
that.
did happen.
Yeah, that kind of did. That's happened more than once.
But see, like, maybe that's what happened to his old crew. He accidentally blew up his ship on an ice planet, and they all froze to death, and he was the only survivor.
No, I've never had a ship before now.
Sophie was making a joke.
So
Sorry, Soviet.
So Raven suddenly kind of loses her balance and kind of falls, and Tantus kind of lifts her back up, and helps her ice skate. Nick seems very disinterested in this activity and seems to want to go do something else. Nick, do you leave?
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna leave.
Okay, where do you want to go, Nick?
I don't really care. I should go anywhere else in the palace.
Okay, so you're going to head to the palace?
Yeah.
Okay, so you head
I
off
thought
towards...
we were already in the palace.
No, you're currently at the Museum of Lighted Tech.
I thought we went to the palace so Tantus could give me a tour.
No, he gave you a tour of the palace, and then he started giving you tours to other things. And they kind of all slid
missed the
together.
tour.
I'm gonna go to the palace.
Okay, you want to head to the palace? That's alright. So you head towards the palace, and as you start walking towards the palace, we go back to an awkward meeting with Rachel and Victor. The date, sorta not a date, a friendly conversation.
That should be the name of this episode, is Deleted Affair. Sorta not a date.
Sorta not a date. I love it. I might do that.
I approve. I approve.
So now what do you want to
I'm gonna
ask
ask her what she
Raven?
thinks. Wait.
Not Raven, Rachel.
Rachel.
Ask Rachel a question.
I'm sorry. I don't date little children.
Alright.
Alright, but I want to ask her if she likes tech or not.
She kind of looks at you like you asked the most dumbest question of all time.
Okay, no, wait. I'm gonna say this. I'm like, wait. Let me rephrase that. I'm like, would you want to tell me about what you know?
All of a sudden, like something activates in Rachel, and she goes into her bag, and she starts pulling out thesis statements, research documents. Apparently, she has this thing about microchips. You never heard of this. You're thinking they're a form of snack food, but she very much tells you that they're not. Then she goes
I
on
was honest
to
with her. I know a
about
little
soil
bit.
enhancements. Then she pulls out some reports on the dark age of technology. And apparently some manuscripts that she mentions are hidden and aren't supposed to be talked about. Particularly the masters talk about AI.
I'm gonna ask her if she'd want to talk about that stuff privately, not around people.
Oh, she's like, no. We just don't talk about what's in the book. But to these people, the book means nothing. But shh.
I still have my book because I carry my book everywhere with me, right?
Yeah. I assume you wouldn't keep, like, a heretical text out.
I'm gonna be like, hey.
Are you sure? You might.
No, like literally. I'm on my home planet. I'm carrying, like, my book is my backpack. What's gonna happen? Am I gonna get arrested?
Yes.
I'm on my home planet.
Another small revolution is gonna start because they think the royal family has been subverted.
I'm gonna be like, hey, you wanna see a book that I found that's really interesting?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm gonna pull out my book. My one and only book.
So describe this book to me.
It was the book of you're really gonna make me remember, aren't you?
Do you even remember what book you have?
I know it's about Magnus the Red.
Huh. Do you know anything else?
I know that has it. One of it is called like. It has something to do with a crusade.
So you know it's not in your inventory.
But we've talked about it a lot. I told you said you would add it to my inventory because I cannot add stuff to my inventory.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot remember the name, but I do remember what it's about.
Alright, I'm looking it up just for you because
Forgot?
I have a good idea what it's called, but
Thousand Suns. It was the Crusade of the Thousand Suns. Or that was like the nickname of it. It had another one, but like
oh wait,
that was the
isn't
nickname,
it the
and I remember
Black
that.
Library? You know what? I bet this was in the Black Library.
It was.
Enjoy, streamers, as we do the totally like bad thing where the GM has to look up something, because this was not something he wrote. He remembered to record.
Expected.
Oh,
I hope people can see better than I can.
okay, it's called the Book of Magnus. That's what I thought it was called. It's also referred to as the Book of Thousand Suns. So it contains the collected knowledge of sorcery as depicted by Magnus the Red, the Primarch of the Thousand Sun Legion during the Great Crusade.
So I'm gonna show her this book. And I'm just gonna kind of like do the whole shh thing.
Okay, so the book is a heavy book bound in a faded leather and stitched in gold. An iron pendant, worked into the form of a snarling wolf's head against a crescent moon, lay along the valley of the meeting points of its pages. It contains the distilled wisdom of all that Mahasva in long years of unthinking service to the Thousand Suns, to a heavy lectum of cold iron within the sanctum of Magnus, on which chained the grimoire of all Magnus, is such a cold from the unexpected text penned by his scribe. The book always remained protected with arcane. Yeah. Okay.
See, I pull out like my one book and just go.
She starts to attempt to look at it. She flips through a few pages. She closes that and says, I have great respect for you, but you should probably put that back in your backpack. Else someone sees and gets upset.
I'm gonna put it back in my backpack and be like, if we're ever on the ship and you want to read it, let me know.
I don't believe sorcery will offer me much good.
Well, I mean, it's about his whole entire history, right? So that'd be like also including the history with technology.
It also deals with all of his achievements with the warp.
Yeah, but I figured it also had to do with like some of the technology he ran into, correct?
Not really.
Okay.
It was basically a glorified I am awesome, and this is, and it kind of gives all of his experiments with the warp.
Oh.
It also caused the downfall of the last person other than him to use it. And
Oh boy.
that went so bad that he never shared his wisdom again.
Hey, at least he's sharing it with me now, not knowing it. So is he still alive?
Yes. Remember, this is a semi-perfect copy of it that you got from the Black Library. If he discovered you had it, he would probably kill you 10,000 times over.
Why?
And I don't know if you know this, but Magnus the Red is totally someone you would not want to meet.
Because he's a bad guy now.
Yeah, sorta.
But he can't see. If he raids to like that demon hierarchy thing, he wouldn't be able to see me.
He was such a powerful psyker that he managed to break a webway gate that Big E made.
Oh. Ooh.
He's quite powerful.
I must find the rest of this book.
You have a perfect duplicate of his book.
Ooh. Oh, you shouldn't tell me that.
I thought I did.
You did, it's just I've said that every single time you told me that too. Soviet takes over the world and starts off with communism.
Alright. So, Rachel then starts opening one of her books and shows you a picture of something.
What is it?
It looks like, well, she's like kind of half handing it to you because she wants you to see the picture.
I take it?
You see on the left a picture that she was describing, but on the right, you see a picture that she didn't see.
What is it?
You see a bunch of mathematical equations.
I'm gonna ask her about that one.
She looks at you very confused. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna ask her about the mathematical equation.
She has no idea what you're talking about.
I'm gonna kind of run my hand through my mohawk, kind of like confused like.
She asks you
Can
what
I try to figure out?
She asks you to give her an example of the equations.
Can I write it down on the napkin?
Yeah.
I write down the mathematical equations on the napkin.
You look at the math that you're recreating, and you're not really sure what the hell that is. It's kind of scary looking. It's like a matrix of numbers within numbers.
I write it down the best I can.
It seems you're able to replicate it perfectly.
I show her.
You show her, and she's just looking very puzzled at that. And it almost seems like the math is math problems within math problems within math problems within math problems.
Can I try to solve them?
There are so many different questions. It's a mess of questions. Like, you're talking about like equations going diagonal, forward, left and right, within each other. There's actually like numbers inside the numbers.
I'm just gonna tell her, I'm gonna be like, that's what I see on this page. I'm gonna point at the page.
She sees that, and she does not know the math that's on that. And she says this is going to require further study. And with that, the server comes with the food. And she quickly puts her books back in her backpack.
And I want to help her, like, stack stuff up and hand it to her.
Well, like, she just, like, grabs all of them and just, like, pushes them
Shoves
into
them
into her seat, and then she starts putting them in her backpack in a very special order that does not appear to have any system that you can understand. Because
I don't have to
they're not in
this.
order of the author. They're not in order of their names, from what you can tell. She must have some sort of special system.
Hey, if she's happy with it, let her be happy with it.
Nick, you've made it to the palace.
Is Nick still here?
Yes. Nick! Nick!
Nick!
Nick!
Ghost Nappa!
Okay, I guess we'll continue then. He signed out of his webpage, so maybe he went to go do something.
Yeah. Alright, so, continuing on.
Okay, moving on.
I'm gonna
So
mention, I'm gonna be like, I noticed it's been a while since you've been off the ship.
she makes a small prayer to the emperor, and she starts digging into her her country fried steak.
I start eating my double bacon, double cheeseburger.
You notice that there wasn't double cheese, there was triple cheese.
Yay! Triple cheese! I don't say that out loud though. I say it in my head.
And you look over to Rachel, and she has a little bit of gravy around her lips.
I don't know whether to do like that whole like little offer to wipe it off. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna offer to wipe it off.
She's still eating the the country fried steak.
Okay, I'll wait till she's done and then offer to wipe it off.
As she takes her last bite of the chicken fried steak, she starts working on her eggs.
As I said, I want to wait for her to finish eating.
As she makes her way through her eggs, she then starts working on her hash browns.
Wait, there's hash browns?
Yeah, a normal steak and eggs comes with hash browns and pancakes. Who doesn't do that? That's like un-imperial. With that, she moves on to her pancakes, which she moves onto her main plate, and goes over and adds a strawberry jam.
I'm just gonna continue eating until. I'm gonna be like, screw it. I'm gonna eat the same way she is.
Then she like after taking a little piece of her pancake, she starts talking about a science theorem.
Now listen.
Yeah, she starts talking about a science theorem about some of the old theories on void suits.
I'm just gonna kind of like nonchalantly bring up, like, have you ever heard of a sensei?
She pauses for a moment, and she goes, "Sensei beans?"
Now, I'm gonna shake my head no. Oh, wait, did you say beans or being?
Beans. You know, you eat them and they restore you to perfect health and remove all fatigue.
This isn't Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, she's
And I
totally
said
making a Dragon
sensei.
Ball Z reference.
So what does she really say?
Huh?
What does she really say?
No, she mentions the sensei beans.
I'm just gonna shake my head no.
And then she starts talking about, let's see. Something called a Goku Saiyan. A Goku Saiyan. And his son, Gohana Saiyan.
I'm just gonna be like, oh, I've seen that.
And she mentions that it was some sort of recreation of a recreation of a recreation of a recreation of what's believed to be an old TV show, but no one really
I'm
knows.
gonna shake my head. I'm gonna shake my head no and be like, no, I'm talking like a biological son of the Emperor. That the day that the Emperor dies, he's supposed to kill himself so that the Emperor is reborn.
And as you start to say that, she puts her finger over your mouth and goes, shh.
And I'm just gonna kind of like smile.
And she goes back to her seat and she continues to eat her pancakes.
I'm just gonna whisper to her, I am one.
She doesn't seem to make any response for this. By the way, thank you for laying it in so thick.
What?
You understand, like, that's the level of heresy that you're supposed to report in.
Well, I mean, I trust her. She's a crewmate.
I know, but I understand this is something
I'm
that you're
whispering
supposed
the
to
whole time.
report someone for doing.
Oh,
And
I'm supposed to
understand,
roll?
like, this is, like, religiously unacceptable. This isn't just, like, Inquisition. This is, like, a small violation of the Imperial truth.
Oh. But does the Emperor know about it?
The Emperor believes the Imperial truth is very much not the Imperial truth that he wrote. See, the Big E made a Imperial truth. People took it and turned it into a religion and made some heavy modifications after one of his sons modified it, saying that he was a god, which he never said. Oh, by the way, the son that wrote it turned to chaos, by the way.
Is there any way to find the book that Big E wrote stating the actual truth?
That had to deal with your visit to the Black Library.
Okay, I want to make a special mission. Like, this is a side mission for me. Like, this is a side mission I want done. I want that book.
Yeah, so what happened was Big E wanted the Book of Truth, which is which contains the original writings of the Imperial Truth. And he wanted the leader of the Imperial cult to read that book.
Can I read it sometime?
Well, it has a lot of truth in it.
It's a lot of truth that I need to know.
No, it's a lot of truth you may not want to know.
DK, you do realize what happened last time you said that, right?
Yeah. So,
Spent an
Rachel...
hour flipping through pages.
Yeah, I know. Like, you wanted to test me, see how far I would go. I got you.
You didn't
yeah.
get me.
I would need a little bit more time to actually structure a book for you to try to read.
That's okay. I understand.
I couldn't do that in real time. I would have to literally recreate the book, and I'm not sure I want to. So
Don't worry, I'll bug you
I would
until
do
you
something
do.
quite
And it's
hilarious
just
if
for
you
the
tried to read the
viewers
book.
too. Viewers, I will bug him until he does.
It's like I could hand you the Book of Truth, and then like you start to read it, and it upsets you and angers you.
But I got a pretty high willpower now.
So Rachel starts to finish her pancakes, and she starts taking a napkin and kind of cleaning off her face carefully.
Dude, I would know about the ice rink too, right?
What now?
I would know about the ice rink too, right?
The ice cream?
Ice rink.
The ice rake?
R-I-N-K? Yes.
What is an ice rake?
Rink. Ring. Ice rink, sorry.
I don't understand.
Where you go to skate.
Oh, the ice rink?
That's what I was trying to say.
Why'd you say rake? That threw me like on a magical adventure in mental processing.
Okay, well, you see, back in Nazi days, they made this thing called ice rake, right?
Okay.
And whenever somebody entered it, they instantly started hailing Hitler.
Uh-huh.
Alright. But, yeah, I was just asking, like, if I knew where, like, the light show ice place was.
So other than Hitler on ice, I think you failed.
That's because I was making something entirely up.
I figured, but I wanted like proof for the audience. Also, where is Nick?
I think Nick ran away. Nick! Where are you?
I'm gonna try recalling him.
Alright. Remember, do not show his number on Skype.
Shh.
I'm going to be muted for just a little bit. I gotta go ask somebody a question.
Alright, I'm gonna recall Nick. Hello. Hey. You're really quiet, man. Nick? We lost you. What's up, man? You were getting some ice? Okay.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry.
I got Nick back. He's very, very quiet, though. Sure. You're gonna have to whisper back to
Oh, I
him.
heard him.
Are you
Said he
okay,
went to
Nick?
go
Do
get
we need us? Do you need us to send an adult? I can't hear him. I can't make it any louder. Are you okay, Nick?
Yeah.
Do we need to send an adult?
No.
Blink twice if you're being held at gunpoint.
That wouldn't help.
Hey, if you want, we can end this session pretty soon. I have to go on a quick run, and then me and you can just play some games or something, DK.
I assure you, Blue Jay said that she wants to play Minecraft.
I was just thinking, like, finish the date, and then... Because I have to get to the store by 10, otherwise they close.
Alright, so, Nick, you went to the palace, and where are you going to go into the palace? I'm actually going to have to hold my headset. That's the only way I'm going to be able to hear you, Nick. Alright, what's up?
He said he was going to bed.
Oh, he's going to bed. Okay, Nick, go to bed. I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone. Okay, I'll let you go, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know. If I knew, I wouldn't have called you back. I'm sorry.
Have a good one, Nick.
Okay, since that means I'll switch this call to my actual headset, and I'll be able to hear you much better, Victor.
Yay.
So let's switch.
So, just so you know, Victor has to get to the store before 10. Can we stop this live stream and just start like a little deleted affair, date, not a date, continuance RP after we get back?
You know what? We'll go ahead and do this another day, okay?
Can we at least finish the date?
Do you have time?
No.
You don't. Okay, then.
Can we finish the date privately?
We'll finish it another day. It's okay.
Alright. Well, it was nice talking to everybody. I have to go.
Yeah, okay. When will you be back from the thing?
Maybe 10, 15 minutes.
10, 15 minutes. Okay. Alright. I'll let you know if I get done with the other thing, okay?
Alright. If not, I'll just watch Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay. Alright, well, take care, Victor, and as always, you're loved.
And it was nice playing with you guys, and have a wonderful evening.
Okay, we
Alright,
will.
I'll
We
message
will.
you when I get back, okay?
Alright, take care. Okay, guys, we're gonna be calling that it for the stream. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, this was Dark Heresy, a deleted affair.